Okay. Kumusta kayo po? Now, it's Thursday, May 29 na po, no? And it's Thursday, May 29. I hope everything is running smoothly sa mga buhay natin po, sa mga buhay ninyo. Ang mga countrymen ko, mga Filipinos dito po, mga kababayan dito po sa Malaysia, particularly dito po sa Sabah. Kumusta kayo? And I hope everything is running smoothly, no? Pasensya lang po, mahirap ang buhay sa labas ng Pilipinas, and we have our very good reasons why we are working abroad. Dahil po, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm very sure na nandito kayo po sa ibang nasyon dahil you really love your loved ones which you left behind dyan sa Pilipinas temporarily to give them a better future. Yon po ang rason ng mga OFWs po why they went out and worked outside the Philippines. So let us support. Sabi nga ni Tatay Digong, ang OFWs, Overseas Filipino Workers, are the new heroes natin sa Pilipinas. Why new heroes po? Dahil in many aspects, ang mga OFWs po, they are the ones who in many ways helping the country in terms of remittances para mag-improve, para may pera ang Pilipinas po. And at the same time, in a personal content, na hero sila po dahil they are willing to take the sacrifices. Ang kahirapan po ang buhay ng OFWs or ang tao na sa labas ng nasyon nila o natin po to work and make sure that we will give a better future sa mga loved ones natin po dyan sa Pilipinas. So, malaking sakripisyo po. That's why, sabi nga ni Tatay Digong, the former president of the Philippines, na let us continue to support ang OFW. And maganda din po, nakita natin po, ang OFWs po, no? Especially mga voters natin, qualified voters po. They appreciated the sabihin natin na intention or mga trabaho ni Tatay Digong when he was the president of the Philippines, no? Because attention are given to these OFWs, and in return po, as a sign of gratitude po, they support overwhelmingly ang leadership ni Tatay Digong, and those candidates during elections po, like what happened last May 12, they support the advice and sabihin natin ang recommendations ni Tatay Digong on whom to vote, on whom to put sa elected position dyan po sa gobyerno. And that really happened. Thank you very much. So, okay, tuloy natin po ang programa natin dito sa NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. And this time around, we are going to touch about one or two specific issues lang po, no? And the most important thing, I believe, that I'm going to touch sa araw na ito po is more on the, marami na po mga, sabihin natin, speculations, mga istorya left and right regarding ang impeachment ni Inday Sara Duterte. What will happen? Will it push through? Or it will be dropped? Or ano po? Ang dami na po. Ang dami politicians are talking about this thing. Fellow countrymen, ordinary Filipinos are also concerned about the impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte. And just recently, dito po sa Kuala Lumpur, si President Bongbong Marcos repeated again that he has nothing to do with the impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte, and he is not in favor to impeach, to proceed with the impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte. But ano talaga po? Ano talaga? Will it push through or not? Other politicians, for example, the former Senate President, dyan po sa Pilipinas, si former Senator Franklin Drilon, he just recently he mentioned that he is optimistic that the impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte will not push through. Will not push through. Excuse me. Others are saying it will push through. So, I will share with you isang sabihin natin video footage or clippings that I managed to record. Ito po, this is the interview between Senator-elect, Senator-elect si Senator Tito Sotto, who was a former Senate President po, no? During the time of impeachment, no? And he was interviewed by a very popular media personality po, commentator, si no other than Karen Davila. And they touch on this issue. They touch on this issue, and si Senate or Senator Tito Sotto explained po ang issue. So whether ang explanation niya po, whether you will accept it or not, or you will be cleared or what, depende na po sa inyo. So, that is the thing that I'm going to pass sa inyong lahat po. Dito po sa programa natin, NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. Especially, ang mga kababayan ko po dito sa Kota Kinabalu. O dito po sa Sabah, in general, sa Malaysia po. No? But before giving you this, sabihin natin itong video clip, let me share with you first ang news article which published dyan po sa Pilipinas. Since we are talking about the Vice President Inday Sara Duterte, nasaan si Inday Sara Duterte ngayon? For your information, and some of you already is aware kung nasaan si Inday Sara Duterte. For your information, those who still don't know kung nasaan si Inday Sara Duterte, si Inday Sara Duterte po nasa Netherlands ngayon po, The Hague. Nandyan po siya to spend time with her father, si Tatay Digong, who is now under the custody of the International Criminal Court po, awaiting for the trial ni Tatay Digong on complaints against crimes against humanity po, no? And marami na mga speculations din po regarding ang case ni Tatay Digong. So, nandito po ang news article that I would like to share with you at this very moment. Ang title ng ABS-CBN News Online po, Sara Duterte back in Netherlands ahead of birthday weekend. So let me read you the news article. Vice President Sara Duterte returned to the Netherlands, where her father, former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, was facing crimes against humanity charges before the International Criminal Court, her office said. While in the Netherlands, VP Duterte is set to meet with her father, former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, in The Hague tomorrow, May 30, and again on June 2nd and June 3rd, the OVP earlier said. The Vice President will celebrate her 47th birthday on May 31 in front of the ICC, where she will participate in a peaceful gathering organized by the various Filipino community groups, her office said. Duterte is expected to return to the Philippines on June 4. Ibig sabihin, hindi ang tatay, no? Si Inday Sara Duterte is expected to return to the Philippines on June 4. The Vice President earlier said that she decided to celebrate her birthday in the Netherlands after she had promised to accompany her mother Elizabeth to visit the Duterte family in The Hague. The Vice President had also told her father that she would focus on his case after the May 2025 midterm elections in the Philippines, where candidates they had endorsed won 5 out of 12 Senate seats. Former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte is facing charges of crime against humanity for murder before the ICC over the death of drug suspects in his administration anti-narcotics crackdown. Vice President Duterte earlier said her birthday wishes include her father's freedom from detention and return to the Philippines. Yon po, yon po ang latest updates na mayroon tayo tungkol kay Inday Sara Duterte. Inday Sara Duterte. May mga iba-ibang news pa tayo dito po. But as what I said, focus muna tayo po yon impeachment ni Inday Sara Duterte dahil po marami ng mga speculations. And the reason why I will share with you itong video clips or footage that I recorded is that for you to understand ano talaga ang sitwasyon ng impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte, which is scheduled to jumpstart sa July 30. July 30. And of course, ang proceedings, preparations will start also sa June 2nd and June 3rd. Ang Senado will start. And let's listen. Let's listen to this video clip po, which I want to share with you. Nandito, you hold on, Listen carefully. Ang explanation or response, answers ni Senator-elect Tito Sotto when she was asked by Karen Davila on the issue. Maganda ito po, Listen carefully. Listen carefully and 100% po, I'm sure that you will understand the issue. Nandito. Ready na ba kayo? Ready na kayo? Alright, then let's listen to this.
Upcoming trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. Do your colleagues even want a trial?
I have spoken to a few, and most of them are impartial.
Okay.
And they would want to remain impartial. And I impart it on them also, as far as I'm concerned. I would always want to be impartial. Now, there are two conflicting rules that beset us and beset the Senate. And those are, first, the Senate rules, which emanate from the Constitution, and the impeachment rules, which I principally authored.
Okay.
Because
Let's talk about that in detail. So you're going to talk about rule, this is section 123 of, what rule is this? Is this the 14th rule? Ano ba to? Section 123, right? Unfinished business at the end of the session shall be taken up at the next session in the same status. Is that what? Let's talk about the rules.
No. There is a particular provision in the Senate rules that jive with the Constitution, which is when the Senate adjourns sine die, everything dies. You will have to refile in the next Congress. Everything. No, everything. Committee reports, kahit natapos na bills, kahit on third reading already. Once adjourned sine die, the Constitution says it all dies without day, sabi ng sine die. So therefore, whatever the Senate is taking up, by dating ng June 13, 1-3, June 13, everything dies. O ngayon, the question is, in the impeachment rules, it says after June 13.
Okay. Yeah.
It over the following Congress.
Yeah, so I want to ask you about that. Let's talk about that further for the public to understand. Election lawyer attorney Romy Macalintal also wrote, and I think he spoke about that, and he cited itong Rule 44 of the Senate. So I'm going to repeat it for the audience. So Rule 44 of the Senate states that all pending matters, what you've mentioned, and proceedings die with the adjournment or termination of Congress. So he says this means the incoming Senate, which convenes after June 30, cannot simply resume the impeachment trial. Now, does Rule 44 of the Senate, does that go above the constitutional duty for impeachment that you hold certain officials accountable? Kasi, di ba, it is sui generis, ang sabi nga nila. So, paano yun, Tito Sen?
That is precisely what I'm saying. There are two conflicting rules.
Yeah.
Which one shall prevail? Yun ang pinag-uusapan dyan because part 3 of the impeachment rules shall continue. Ano? Naman, yun namang section 1, 2, 3 of the rules of the Senate, and you read part of it. The Senate terminate upon expiration of the Congress.
Yeah. So if you were Senate President in the 20th Congress, if hypothetical, what would you do? Would you ask your colleagues to take a vote? Because Macalintal says the Constitution explicitly prohibits the filing of more than one impeachment case against the same official within a one-year period, right? He considers it a revival if the 20th Congress tackles the impeachment. He says it's considered as new. What are your thoughts on that, Tito Sen? What should the 20th, the senators of the 20th Congress do? Because for sure, Senator Amy Marcos will bring that up. The Sara Duterte supporters will bring that up.
Well, the best is for the Senate to decide. Are you talking about the 19th or the 20th Congress? Because if you go the 19th Congress, sa akin, hindsight, it's always the best on hindsight. On hindsight, in January 18, when they received the transmission from the House, they should have taken it up. Di ba? They should have taken it up. But they did. Nag-adjourn sila ng alas 12 ng gabi ng January 18. Nag-adjourn sila for the campaign. Without transmitting without referring the impeachment to the Committee on Rules. So wala silang nagawa. Ngayon, umpisa nila sa June 2 or June 3. The 20th Congress ang papatakan yan. Because I don't think they can finish it by June 13.
Yeah.
So, bottom line, well, let the senators decide.
So, what you're saying is, if I'm hearing you, because Senate President Escudero, by the start of June 2, they will convene as an impeachment court, right? Hindi tapos.
Most probably.
Pag pumasok na kayo, 20th Congress, you believe, Tito Sen, kasi una magbobotohan magbobotohan ng Senate President, right?
Usually, yes, usually.
Posibleng magbago mismo. I mean, the Senate President essentially, you lead the impeachment court, right?
The presiding officer of the...
So it's the Senate President. So are you saying that the Senate President, if it is no longer, kasi yan ang tanong, if it's Senate President Cheese Escudero, he can decide to continue, pero kung bago, can the new set of senators ask that they take a vote? Is that possible at that point?
Yes, that's possible. And the Senate President, whoever he is, cannot decide.
Yeah.
That should never be done. Mali yun. Kung ginagawa nila yun, mali yun. It is always the Senate who must decide. Like for example, the presiding officer. He must have a very good mastery of parliamentary rules and procedures, a very good knowledge of the rules of court. Yes, that's about it. But everything is decided by the court. It should never be the Senate President alone who decides. You know, that should never be done. So the members of the Senate in the 20th Congress must stand up and discuss this.
Now, given that you are co-equal branches of government, if this is brought before the Supreme Court, questioning, right, the crossover, because because in the United States, the impeachment court of Bill Clinton crossed two Congresses. So that's the defense of the House prosecutors, two justices as well. Nagpalit ang Kongreso in the U.S., tinuloy. But one can argue, iba naman yun, right? Iba ang batas doon, iba ang rules doon.
Correct. Iba. Saka, if I'm not mistaken, may crossover pa na, pero di naman nila tinuloy.
Now, if the Supreme Court makes a decision, hypothetical to, and says you need to continue, does that take precedence over the Senate being a co-equal branch, or the Supreme Court has no say?
Very good question. Ang ganda. That is a very good question. I have not thought of that. Susundin ba namin ang Supreme Court o hindi? Yan ang tanong doon.
You are co-equal.
Wait. The Senate pwedeng unahan ng Senate ang Supreme Court. Pwedeng unahan ng Senate. On day 1, July 28, nag-convene ang Senate. Somebody stands up and discusses it. Talks about it. Sabi, do you think by July 28, may decision ng Supreme Court dyan? Wala pa. Malamang, huwag tayo humingi pa ng ano yun. Humingi ng comment from us, or from the Senate, from the House. Di ba? Ganyan pwede. Ikaw pangunahan ng Senado. July 28, di-discuss na agad ng Senado. Sabi ng Senado, hindi kami continuing. Ayun. Tapos. Diba? Pwedeng gano'n eh. Depends on the members of the Senate. It is never the Senate President alone.
Okay, yun po. That's the footage that I want to share with you po dito sa programa natin na NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. So at least, malalaman ninyo po, ano ba talaga itong issue. They are going to convene. Mag-convene na po, mag-umpisa na po ang impeachment trial ni Inday Sara Duterte sa June 2nd and to be followed on June 3rd. But of course, si Inday Sara Duterte, she won't be attending kasi nasa Netherlands siya ngayon po. She's only going back to Philippines on June 4, arriving in the Philippines on June 4. But it is not obliged for her to attend. It's okay lang yan po. Now, after convening of this impeachment trial, no? Now, sa June 13, 1-3 po, tapos na ang 19 Congress. Tapos na ang 19 Congress po. So ano, tuloy ba yan? Carry over ba yan sa 20th Congress or 20th Senate? Sa 1950 Constitution, according to Senator Tito Sotto, mayroon din niya po. Pwede. But that was 1950 Constitution. We are talking about ang 1987 Constitution, which is, it don't allow. Kung ma-expire na ang 19 Congress, ibig sabihin po, the 20th Congress will start anew. Ibig sabihin, lahat yun mga items, no, mga bills, na it was not completed, or no decision yet, even though mayroon na ang third hearing dyan po, no? It means balik sila ulit from the very beginning. So ano yun? Tuloy ba yun ang impeachment? Kung hindi man yan magtuloy, dahil na-expire na ang 19 Congress, kasi sila yun po nag-impeach kay Inday Sara Duterte. Pwede ba yon sa 20th Congress? Because the law says, isang beses lang impeachment. The following year, hindi na pwede mag-impeach the same person. So, what will happen? So, that is the reason why I decided to share with you itong medyo mahaba, 11 plus minute ito po, no? But I just want to share with you. Para at least, mayroon kayong idea what is happening. Ha? Itong mga, because if you hear sa social media, sa mainstream media, dyan po sa Pilipinas, maraming mga lawyers are talking about this thing, negative and positive, no? About this issue po. So, at least, now, you heard it from the former Senate President, and I'm referring to former Senate President and who is now elected again as a senator, the Senator Tito Sotto. Si Toto is one of the candidates din po to be or eyeing the post of Senate President po sa 28th Senate. So let's see po, no? Let's see what will happen, and we'll keep in touch on what is happening dyan po sa Pilipinas. Dyan po sa Pilipinas. So other news, mayroon tayo dito po. Wait, I'll try to check, ano kaya ang latest developments kay former Congressman Ani Teves? Kasi hot issue din niya po. Teves deported from Timor-Leste. Na-deport na si Teves, no? Based on the news article from ABS-CBN. Let me share you this news po. Ang latest updates tungkol kay former Congressman Arnulfo Teves. Former Congressman Arnulfo Teves was deported from Timor-Leste on Thursday, some 2 years after he was tagged as the alleged mastermind of a March 2023 attack that killed then Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo and 9 others. A Philippine Air Force plane carrying Teves left Timor-Leste at around 2:40 p.m. Kanina yan po, 2:40. Now it's already 5 o'clock. Teves was detained at the driving range in Dili last year, but a Timorese court blocked his extradition. In an abrupt turnaround, Timor-Leste late on Wednesday announced Teves' impending deportation, saying his continued presence represented a security risk dyan po sa Timor-Leste. The government hereby informed that Arnulfo Teves Jr. will be deported from Timor-Leste, it said in a statement using the country's alternate name. It added that the Timor-Leste's imminent full accession to the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, had reinforced its responsibility to collaborate regionally on legal matters. Teves has denied any hand in the murder of Degamo. Degamo had been distributing aid at his home in Pamplona when 6 people carrying rifles and dressed in military fatigues entered the compound and opened fire on March 4, 2023. The killings came months after Degamo was declared winner of a disputed vote, unseating Henry Teves, the ex-lawmaker's brother. Arnulfo Teves was expelled from the House of Representatives after refusing to return to the Philippines to face murder charges. On Wednesday, Teves' son, Ax, posted videos on social media of his father being dragged away by Timorese police claiming he had been kidnapped. Degamo's widow, Pamplona Mayor Janice, called the arrest a significant step towards justice. Yan po ang latest about the Tebas. By this time, siguro po, nasa Pilipinas na si former Congressman Arnie Tevez po. So, what's the next move? Hindi natin alam po. And I'll make sure that you will be properly informed. Or you'll be updated once I get any information about the updates of former Congressman Tevez. So, stay tuned lang kayo po dito po sa NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. Alright, before I will conclude this program, NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico, on a Thursday, May 29, I would like to share with you also, medyo busy tayo kanina or dito sa Kota Kinabalu because I attended one function po. No? Dito po sa Tanjung Aro, ang location talaga po, dyan po sa hangar ng Layang-Layang Aerospace Sendiran Berhan. Because ang embassy ng US dyan sa Kuala Lumpur, dumating po dito sa Kota Kinabalu to hand over medical equipment po to the state or Sabah Health Department po, no? To at least help in the Sabah Flying Doctor Service. Mayroon tayong dito po. Yearly program ito po. Mayroon tayo Sabah Flying Doctor Service wherein they go from one place to another by a chopper or helicopter po to distribute medical assistance po and give medical assistance to the patients, no? To the local residents in the area. So, masaya ang Sabah State Ministry or department po for receiving a donation coming from the U.S. Philippine Embassy dyan po sa Kuala Lumpur. Present to receive the medical equipment is no other than the Sabah Health Director, si Dr. Maria Sulaiman. So, let me share with you itong brief speech ng representative ng Philippine Embassy during the program this morning dyan po sa Tanjung Aro. And itong speech was delivered by no other than Captain Brian Kim. Nandito po ang speech na po. Brief speech ni Captain Brian Kim. Let's listen to this. Hold on, Let's listen to this. Sandali. Ganito ba yun? Let's see. Hold on, Okay, nandito po.
Related medical equipment. Our goal is to strengthen the capabilities of the Sotto State Health Department's Flying Doctor Service and delivering healthcare to those who need it most, especially in remote areas and underserved areas of the vast and beautiful state of Sabah. The Flying Doctor Service plays an extraordinary role in connecting communities with life-saving care, often in places where there are no roads and no other means of access. The challenges are many, but so too is the determination and dedication of the Flying Doctor Service team. It is humbling to witness, and this is why we are proud to support your mission. We recognize reliable, well-equipped air medical services are not just a matter of logistics, but they are a matter of life. With this donation, we hope to enhance the ability of the Flying Doctor Service to continue providing urgent medical attention across Sabah, using helicopters as a vital link between people and care. This effort reflects enduring partnership between the United States and Malaysia. We believe that when we work together, government to government, people to people, we can achieve great things. In this case, it means helping to bring healthcare to those who might otherwise go without it. Once again, thank you to Sotto State Health Department for your collaboration and to the Flying Doctor Service for your tireless work on the front line of care. May this contribution serve as a symbol of our friendship and as a tool to help you reach those in need. Thank you. Chairman Hassan.
Okay, that's it po. Si Captain Brian Kim of dyan po sa US Embassy po, no? Sa US Embassy. Alright, nandito sila po ngayon, nasa Kota Kinabalu, and I have a chit-chat with them, 4 or 5 of them, and they're happy to be in Kota Kinabalu, and they said Kota Kinabalu or Sabah is a beautiful place to visit. And luckily, nandito sila ngayon po. And they're looking forward to climb Mount Kinabalu, the tallest mountain in Southeast Asia. And they will be attending this one-long festival, Harvest Festival or Kaamatan Pesta, which Sabah is now celebrating since May 1st hanggang 31st. No? It's a colorful festival dito sa Sabah, being celebrated every year. It's a yearly event. No? And it will culminate on the 31st. So tomorrow is Friday. It will culminate on Saturday, wherein there will be the announcement of the winners of the Pesta Kamatan cultural pageant po. Pageant. So it's very colorful. Very colorful, and visitors will really enjoy itong yearly harvest festival dito po sa Sabah. Now, I will share with you also a brief speech, a portion of the speech of Sabah, the health director, si Dr. Mary Sulaiman, in response to or giving her positive response to the donation coming from the U.S. Embassy when it comes to the medical assistance extended to the Sabah Flying Doctor Services. Nandito po. Let's listen to this. Okay, yun po si Dr. Mary Sulaiman, the Sabah Health Director. And she's very pleased, grateful that the U.S. Embassy in Kuala Lumpur for their initiative, for their gesture, for their kind gesture in donating medical equipment for the use of the Sabah Flying Club Doctor Service Program dito po sa Kota Kinabalu. So, yan po, no? These are the issues or topics that I would like to share with you during my program dito po sa NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. And I will continue to monitor whatever or the activities dyan po sa Pilipinas for itong mga kababayan natin dito po, mga Filipinos, mga brothers and sisters ko dito sa Sabah po. Ha? Hindi lang sa Sabah, sa Sarawak o sa West Malaysia po, ang mga kababayan natin who is here, legally working and residing in Malaysia. You will be able or you will be informed on the latest updates of what is happening in the Philippines. And of course, itong programa po is also dedicated sa lahat sa mga overseas Filipino workers. No? Be it dito po sa Malaysia or be it somewhere else. No? Somewhere else abroad. So siguro hanggang dito na lang po ang program natin. And again, I would like to say, thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Ingat lang tayo po. And let's pray for a better tomorrow and future ang nation natin po, the Philippines. Guide our politicians, especially those let's ask God to bless and guide all our politicians, especially those who has just been elected during the midterm election. So, with this, Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines. See you tomorrow. Thank you for spending time with me today. Bye!